What's up, guys? Welcome back to the MontyVerse as things are getting insane in Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again. Nikki, are you ready for episode 3?
I am definitely ready, because last week was crazy with that premiere.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Once is enough! They made me watch Foggy die twice.
Yeah, that's not very nice of them.
It's messed up. Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it.
No.
Dr. Glenn, allow me to introduce Mayor and Mrs. Fisk.
See, I love this.
I know. I hope we get to see more of their sets.
Because you don't know if that's a move or not.
To represent you.
Hector, he's
Because
not
it really could be sincere.
Yeah, and I can't wait to get into more about the White Tiger this episode. We didn't really talk about him much last week because there was so much going on.
Consecutive life sentences.
Where is he?
Sadly, he's no more.
Talk about an ending to an episode.
You don't want to do this.
Can you just imagine these two guys thinking they're gonna just massacre this blind man and then getting their ass kicked? What do you think? What do you think was going through their head?
Not that.
Ouch.
From in Puerto Rico. To me, it's the most beautiful place on earth. White sand doesn't croak, it sings its name.
Aww.
And the cookie, it mates for life, right? So
Oh.
start calling out to the one and only love.
Oh. That's really.
That's very sweet.
I promise. And you'll be reunited with your family.
I really want them to reinforce more of Hector's backstory, to let us endear ourselves to him more.
I mean, are you thinking it wouldn't be doing
No,
that?
just that last episode, it moved so fast and it was so frenetically paced that we didn't really get to live with Hector as much as I would have liked. But again, like I was expecting us to do that in this episode, maybe the next episode, depending on how long this arc is.
Yeah, which is totally fair. But like, I know we have time to delve into that.
What I'm trying to say is I like seeing it now.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Because Hector, not only is his backstory very interesting and very meaningful in terms of the history of comic books, but he was, by most accounts, the first major Latin American superhero.
Oh.
And the first Marvel character of Latin descent to lead their own comic book.
Okay, that I didn't know. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's like a gut punch.
I was gonna ask if that still hurts.
It hurts. I mean, listen, as you are well aware, because you've seen me do it, I've reread a lot of my favorite Daredevil comics in anticipation of this, and it's just, it's so funny how much Foggy fakes his death in the comics. So to have him potentially be gone,
It hurts.
it hurts.
I shouldn't laugh at that.
You shouldn't. But here we are.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, what's up?
And, wallets while you're at it.
So this would be around January in New York. Yeah, it would be very brick outside.
Silly wee bastard.
Oh!
See, I have no problem taking my piece and putting it to their head. That's
Dark nights out here, man.
Well, pizza.
Evil
That's
versus
how you
evil.
can tell
Good
it's New York.
Yeah.
You're gonna make it?
Good question.
You want answers from me? I don't have them. Sorry.
That guy's the realest New Yorker I think I've ever met. They need to get me on a BB report. I would love to just season 2. Can you get me in there?
Can we ever see him eat anything that's not eggs?
Well, I think that's supposed to fit into like the weight loss, right? How Vanessa last week said like, you lost weight, you look good.
But I'm reaching for higher goals.
Cinematography in this scene is excellent.
Mm-hmm. The way it just pans
Sorry
back
to
and
bother
forth.
It shows the separation.
Yes.
last night there was a double homicide not half a mile from the port. Apparently,
Huh.
jacking gone wrong.
Now, Red Hook was also
Place as a destination.
what Foggy was involved in, too.
Yeah, we can try.
Yeah.
I think they might be able to succeed.
Fisk can fix it.
Rats at the bottom of the barrel. Let them kill each other.
And when they're done, we'll come after you.
Okay, interesting. Interesting.
None of it is our concern.
I want to say something. I can't, but I want to say something so bad, but...
I was gonna say, I don't want you to, but I also kind of want you to.
I can't. I will talk. I'll maneuver. I can maneuver around it more after. I love how it's just like the hands are bloody. It's just.
Oof.
Oh, there's so much I want to talk about, but I have to.
I know.
Wait until the end because like that symmetry is like season 1 level symmetry between the two of them. Like the cut.
Those glasses and doors, right?
I'm sorry, are you talking to me? Officer Powell.
Yeah, even if he wasn't blind, that's a weird thing to tell someone.
It's so weird.
Well, maybe get lucky and the DA only slaps you with a misdemeanor, but I doubt it.
My God, just like the joy
in his voice and delivery.
Because he knows like I can't beat you physically right now, so I'm just going and then interesting.
Yeah.
They're really going all in on this Punisher symbolism.
You misunderstood the concept of a safe house.
Hey, Cherry Cola.
Whoa, that guy looks like he's wearing Iron Fist's costume from season 2.
3, I got 1 for integrity and 2 for community service.
It was unusual for an officer of yours.
This wild look in his eyes, and when you're a cop long enough, you know what that look means, and he starts running towards us.
Ugh, scumbag.
Don't react, Hector.
Like it was nothing.
Oh. Okay. They're not allowed to do this. They ruled it last episode.
He's talking about how shitty the Knicks are.
Facts.
And the Knicks lose another one.
That's all over now.
No.
Get him, Matt. Get him.
Officer Powell, good morning. I'm told you have a black eye. I hope everything is okay.
Nice.
They say in boxing, the best cure for a black eye is fast hands.
Objection.
Officer Powell, just want to make sure I'm clear on something.
Oh my God,
You
this
testified
is
before.
this is almost like Wade Matt coming out.
By alone, you mean just the two of you, no one else?
That's right.
No.
If you get my meaning.
Officer Powell, let's try this. You ever met a man named Nicky Torres? Foreman used to work with the NYPD. In fact, used to work with you and Officer Shanahan directly.
Wow.
I don't like how calm he is. Come on, Matt, but you gotta get him there. Oh!
Well, just the way that was shot, like just the close-ups on it.
I love the way that the creative team decided to visualize Matt's
almost ready.
5th sense in this series.
Hey, you promised I'd be safe.
We're fine if you stay out of sight. Come on, let's go.
Okay, can we move him? Can
Yeah.
we go? I'm getting Rain Nadim flashbacks. I'm getting season 3 flashback.
It's too early for that.
Oh God, this is episode 3. What episode are we on? Too early.
I'll be here.
It's
Oh God. Oh no.
It's almost weird. Like, it's weird that to see Matt put his faith in other people without, because old Matt would have been directly involved in this.
Yes.
Unless maybe, could we get like a cameo? Just like Luke Cage, like helping? I don't know, it just seems weird for Matt to only send Cherry, right? Because of how dangerous he knows this is gonna get.
Or maybe that's the thing. It's so early in the season. He's way, like, it has to escalate first, but I don't know.
You're way too trusting. That's the problem. You're way too trusting in that this is gonna work out. But I know these people. I know these stories too well.
Oh, come on.
Officer, get out of
Oh, maybe they did a shell game. Maybe he's in a different vehicle.
Open it.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
You, damn.
Like I said, I know this. I know these.
Come on.
These tropes.
Yeah, it's what. You're too smart. Oh my god.
I read a lot of Daredevil growing up, and I read a lot of Daredevil in the past month.
Impeccable timing, buddy.
It went away.
Can you tell the jury why?
Ooh.
I just.
The Etruria subway station being beaten when Hector Ayala intervened to save your life.
Objection.
With great risk put himself.
Oh.
Mr. Torres, you are dismissed.
It just feels weird that all of those cops are able to be in there and essentially intimidate the witness while he's on stand.
Shootout 2 days ago at the port is just the latest in a long line of very noisy mistakes. Victor. Restitution.
Okay, this is smart. This is a smart move.
Maybe you shouldn't hire a bunch of trigger-happy assholes.
Enough! You're proving my point.
And you go tell Fisk, if he's got something to say to me, he can come tell me himself.
That's not a threat you want to make.
I work for the man.
So he was fine when we... So what the hell happened?
Maybe the cops got to him, or they threatened his kid.
It's the other guy. It's the guy in the cab.
Some kind of CI registration form or a record of payments or...
That they didn't destroy by now?
We hope the jury see him the way we do.
That's a Hail Mary.
We're gonna need a lot more bourbon.
What you're trying to do, it's not going to work.
There's some really interesting visual storytelling going on in this episode that we'll talk about later.
I sent Buck to Luca to tell him to pay Victor 1.8.
Oh, shit. So that wasn't even him.
No. But I mean, are we
It's not
surprised?
falling into a place where I don't trust you.
Hmm.
I respect that. You wanted to keep the peace.
Me too.
Just for a moment. To build a stronger order.
Before a stronger peace, or is it my penance for what I did?
No.
Oh.
I'm not punishing you for anything.
You're leaving me
He's
out.
the Kingpin, not the Punisher.
Oh my god.
Bit.
Mr. Ayala.
Oh.
We live with my sister and my niece. Soledad and I, we've always dreamt of having our own place.
Oh!
On a studio in the South Bronx. It's not much.
We'll talk about it after, but that character is important.
Hey, stop saying that.
To help a stranger. Wasn't the first time, was it?
Oh, Matt!
I don't understand.
Well, I'm just saying that you've put yourself in harm's way before.
You can't do this, Matt.
Why?
This is the arrogance coming out.
I think he's been showing that the whole episode.
I know.
Don't do this.
Don't do this.
No, are you the vigilante known as the White Tiger?
Objection!
Matt!
Oh.
Mr. Ayala!
Well,
My court!
dude, now you just pissed off the judge.
Both of you, in my chambers, now.
What? I know he's desperate, like,
I mean, this is
jeez.
very Matt. But also, like, I really wish it wasn't.
I can strike this from the record, but that is pointless.
Yeah.
Put me in quite a bind, Mr. Murdock.
I didn't mean to disrespect the court, Your Honor.
That was the plan.
I get it.
Well, that's it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so nothing changes.
The court without one of them up your ass. I hope it was worth it.
That was crazy.
Prison.
but give him a fair try, which I don't think he's gonna get it.
This is almost very reminiscent of like the early comics that Hector was in as the White Tiger.
You should have asked me first.
Yeah, I don't blame him for that.
Yeah, you should have. He's supposed to trust you.
It wasn't your secret to tell.
No.
Acquitted. Your White Tiger days are over. Right? You can't ever put that suit back on.
Oh.
You mean
And
it's
who I am.
interesting.
It's a calling.
Oh.
There are ways to contribute. Ways that don't require a mask.
Oh my god.
Family now.
It's a little heavy. It's a little heavy-handed.
Yeah, a little, yeah.
Don't miss being him.
I mean, but to be fair, this is also how
We had just dropped our son off at a game.
the story was utilized in the comics.
Oh, okay.
Not exactly.
Still, that's different.
Just plows right into us. The engine caught on fire.
Okay, so they bring up character witnesses.
This guy, he tries to grab me. I screamed.
Let's hear from a more objective party. This is a police report.
More police reports. Officer Reyes.
Okay.
Officer Wong.
Interesting. Interesting approach.
I think many of the people in this room would consider White Tiger to be an ally.
Okay. He's winning them over.
Talk
Okay.
about Mr. and Mrs. Burgos.
I just like the way they
Risk your
panned to
life
that
by
one
running
guy.
toward a burning
He's
car.
like, yeah. He's like, I do like that guy.
Why?
It's the right thing to do.
I wouldn't. And risks his life to keep his neighborhood safe, to protect his community. Community says so. The police say so.
No, nice.
It's just
Doesn't make
he's just
sense.
getting too cocky. All right. Now it's
Does that make me a good person?
I mean,
That was a
those are nice things.
People can do bad things. Bad people can do good things.
that's a bit of a reach.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true, but
Do you know what happens to a person when they get hit by a train? When you have 200,000
okay.
Officer Shanahan, when Hector Ayala pushed him in front of that train, thing to do. Look around you.
Is that not leading?
Don't need to hide.
I mean, pretty good closing statement. I don't know how right that was, but
I mean, they're just doing their jobs at the end of the day. That's the hard part.
oh my god, the Newans. The Newans, they're so damn good.
Oh my god, so this feels like a church pew now.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes, right? But again, it's like that music informs you of that. It helps you get into that mindset. It's almost like he has foregone his main source of morality, which is religion, and now he's putting all of that faith into the justice system.
Yeah.
Which he knows to some extent is broken
Mhm.
in certain ways, but he does trust it.
And that's what he's been telling himself and us literally since the first episode.
Yeah.
Not guilty.
Wow. Wow. I'm actually kind of surprised.
This.
Nate.
Oh,
Wow.
shit.
Not even a wow.
See, that's surprising because
yeah, because if they went for manslaughter, I think that would have been
in the comics he gets found guilty.
yeah, and I think that would have made a lot of sense. Wow.
We did it. Yeah. And it's just like it's like you hear the music. It's
Yeah.
like that hallelujah, almost
Right,
like that.
because it restored his faith in the system.
Yeah, it's like we did it. Oh my God, we're cooking.
Yeah, but I mean, the shoe's gonna drop
Yeah.
before this is over.
So he's pissed because he made him look stupid.
Of course.
All due respect, sir, we have people at the Times.
Tell her I want to see her again.
Ooh.
Oh.
He's way too happy about that.
He's a scene stealer. Mike's great.
Yes.
Gotta love a man who cooks.
Yeah, and dinner for one in public's a bit depressing. Something's missing. See, my old partner and I together for an office bottle of Melvin's. First bottle lasted a very long time.
Aww, that's sweet.
You're talking about your friend.
She's gonna try and therapize him.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, she had her criticisms of lawyers. I'm sure there's a lot for therapists too.
It's not easy.
Yeah, I imagine.
And Foggy Nelson.
I'll drink to that. I love how she references religion and he gets visibly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Court and a jury found him not guilty.
Courts fail. Juries get it wrong.
Okay.
I should know.
I mean, again, are you surprised he'd say that?
Masked vigilante.
No.
Veteran of the NYPD lies dead.
You know how many cops this guy killed? Which just shows like his hypocrisy.
Well, yeah, but again, that's him. Oh, God.
Acquittal of Hector Ayala. Demands that I keep it.
No! What happened to the enhanced reflexes?
Must prevail.
Was he not wearing his amulet?
They showed him putting it on.
Oh! Oh my God, okay. That's so disgustingly brutal.
I know.
But again, like what? Okay, so it's really interesting how they chose to handle that, right? Because in the comics, a very similar outcome happens where, except Hector is found guilty. And it's even worse because Hector wasn't even at the scene of the crime when the cops were killed. So it just shows the corrupt, it just shows how flawed the legal system is. But in here, in this show, in a show that we already are stripping Matt of his beliefs, stripping Matt of his comfort blanket, which was his morality, so intrinsically tied into his religion from childhood. And that was his safety blanket. We strip that away, so the legal system has to prevail because it's all he has left.
Yeah.
And if it's flawed, then he has to go back, like an alcoholic, he has to go back to the old ways, which he doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
So here he's found innocent, but in the comics, when he's found guilty, he cannot live with the fact that was not only falsely accused, but he was railroaded in court, and the court was really making an example out of Matt and using him to set that example, because Matt in the comics had just been outed as Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
Which is why like the identity politics tie into the comic book and the show as well, because it's Matt really representing Hector, but fighting for himself through Hector, which he's also doing here.
Yeah.
Very differently. So Hector freaks out and he tries to escape and he gets gunned down on the courtroom steps by the police.
After he's found guilty.
After he's found guilty. So it's kind of adds insult to injury. Whereas this, you have that triumph, you have that great moment, and then, Hector, he should have taken Matt's warning.
I know. No, do you know what I thought, and what's still probably gonna happen is I assume, like, oh, he's gonna give it to his niece now, because they made a huge point of that, and you've been telling me about that.
Oh, you picked up on that? Both of those, the sister and the niece.
Right, but just the fact that, hey, I thought, okay, he might just give it up then. Nope.
Yeah, the white tiger has and that's why I think I was wondering in that scene, because we saw him put the amulet on.
Yeah.
And then it focuses on the amulet, but we have to go back and check. I don't know if he was wearing it while he was running.
That'd be, oh my God.
Maybe he like took it off to show like he doesn't need the amulet to do good, and that led to his downfall. Maybe he gifted it to the next generation. I don't know. We have to go back and we have to check, but this is really interesting.
It's crazy. Like, and there's so much, and I know you kept saying there's so much to talk about. I know for a fact, just from what you've told me in terms of what they've had to shoot for the show, that it's not super action heavy, which this episode most certainly was not. And I was still very invested. I think, like we were talking about, it's a little bit on the nose with the dialogue and the symbolism at times, but I still found it interesting, and I thought he was super compelling, which makes this even sadder to conclude this episode this way.
Yeah. You know what's really interesting is that it was revealed by the director, and like a couple of different people in interviews this week have revealed that the original series, this and episode 2 were supposed to be the premiere episodes.
Okay.
So, and that fight scene at the end, I don't even think was in episode 2. I think they added things in here and there, but overall, like, this is the direction the show was going in. That's why they did that course correct, and we could kind of see why. This episode was very heavy on the legal procedural drama.
Yeah, which I don't have a problem with. Like, again, knowing what they were originally going to do, I'm glad we eased into it a little bit.
Yeah, why I think it works here, why I think it works better after the restructuring, is that after the intensity and the insane pacing of the first 2 episodes, to have this be a legal drama episode, I think works extremely well in the overall grand scheme of things. If this was the second episode,
I think that just bring a lot of the momentum to a very grinding halt. Not to say that there wasn't literal momentum in this. It just would have been a weird way to pace this without like getting deeper into like understanding where they're going with the show.
Like, look at how much we dissected Matt's internal compass.
Yeah.
Just based off of the first 2 episodes and how much of that religious symbolism Scartapani, the new showrunner, and the new directors and everyone added into the series in those first 2 episodes. And because of that, we were able to infer so much more what they were going for.
And that's like what's so crazy is I don't think in the entirety of this episode he mentions his faith. Like,
no.
What that he himself, like, it's like the asshole prosecutor does about himself, but Matt doesn't. But it also felt so insanely obvious at the same time, just from the visual storytelling and the cues they had.
Right, because Matt's going through a crisis of faith. He's going through a crisis of conscience, way more severe than any other time in his life. Like, people say it's redundant of season 3, but you're completely wrong, because what we're experiencing here is not Matt turning his back on God and feeling like he was forsaken and blaming God for his miserable life. It's him being unworthy of the comfort of religion.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think that season 3 is at all comparable to what they are doing with this season.
Of course, because in episode 1, Matt crosses the big red line.
Yes.
He crosses the line. And after Foggy dies, he had every intention of killing Bullseye. But that mother trucker don't die. He's impossible to kill. So, in his mind, because he pushed him with the intention of death, he committed one of the worst sins ever.
Yeah.
And in his own mind, he is unworthy of the comfort of that religion gave him.
Yeah.
Which is so interesting to dissect in a character that is so heavily tied to religion, as is Matt Murdock in Daredevil.
It's crazy because and that's one of those things that I wasn't even considering going into the season. But again, I think that just goes to show how creative they've been in finding ways to explore these sides of him, given how well and how many ways they already did in the original series. Because I didn't see a lot of this coming, and I think that's just them finding ways to stay true to his character while also trying to be experimental and going in these directions.
Yeah, and it's not even, and we've only talked about the Matt side of this episode, let alone the Wilson Fisk side of this episode.
Yeah, which I'll be the first to admit, I definitely wish we saw a little bit more of him, but I know
we'll get there.
That's what I'm thinking is like, yeah, obviously it'll come, because the stuff with him and Vanessa, I don't find the least bit surprising just knowing her.
Yeah, and they do. There's some stuff that they're teeing up that I won't go into detail about, because I want to savor the surprise for you. But they are tackling some interesting stuff. I'm thinking of, if you guys want to get on the same page as me, they're tackling some stuff that they did in the Bendis run, the early Bendis run of Daredevil. If you know, you know what I'm kind of talking about. And they're kind of setting that up. But with Kingpin, right, we have Matt letting go of his old ways, right, and Wilson is doing that differently, in that he's giving up the old ways of trying to be super organized and super, because even in this episode, he's like, sometimes you need a little chaos. How out of character for this version of Kingpin is that? We literally spend multiple seasons with this guy just making the same breakfast every morning, wearing the same cufflinks, like, and Vanessa unravels him a little bit, but he always is a control freak. He always needs to be in control. And he says, you know, like, maybe he doesn't want to have control. And then, but like Matt, redirecting his focus and his you know, mental problems into the legal system, Wilson Fisk is doing the same thing, but tunnel visioning on vigilante justice. And I really love the way they're dealing with heroism in this season, and it's only going to continue to get murkier and more interesting as they continue to tackle the Punisher symbolism and what that symbol means and why it's good and bad and just generally wrong. And like, I can't, like, having seen season 2, some of my favorite moments in all of Daredevil are the philosophical debates between Matt and Frank. Even in the comics, I really love the philosophical debates between heroes. My way is right, your way is wrong, half measures this. It's just, and this show is really doing the legwork to set up some really interesting conversations later on in the show.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the stuff with Frank is very much a huge mystery at this point, and I like that there are the hints to it. It's frustrating, but only because I just want to know what it is already. But I think that's great for building the anticipation because, and don't tell me if you know, because I don't know when he's showing up. That to me,
I have an idea.
Okay, then don't say anything.
Okay, I won't say. I feel like just by general story structure, I would have an idea, but we'll see. Also, just technical stuff that I want to point out. Newton's fantastic. Huge fan of their work across everything that they do. When we watched season 1 together, one thing I kept reinforcing was how beautiful the symmetry is between Matt and Kingpin in that season. And this season is also doing that. And it's almost more aggressive because there's literal visual handoffs between the two characters that there were in the original. I mean, just like Wilson looking at the rabbit in a snowstorm painting and Matt looking at a painting at Vanessa's gallery that's red and it symbolizes Daredevil and Kingpin. Whereas here we're getting like, Matt will move his hand and then the camera will slide transition into Wilson moving. It's just like visual stuff like that to really reinforce the themes of the season. I love it, and I think there's so much effort being put into this show, and you can see that each episode is like, I feel like we're just gonna keep progressing in quality as the series goes on, and it just gets me so excited. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all the latest content. If you want to check out our other Daredevil reactions, click the link on the page. And until next time, guys, stay versed.